I still feel, and the people will see the film and decide, but I still feel that we haven't made a good film on Kashmir.
Okay. But was it easy or difficult to film there?
Is it ever easy to film?
Yeah. Anyway, you make a film; it's not easy. In fact, we were hoping, not hoping, expecting that we'll have trouble, but actually it was a very smooth shoot over there. From administration to the local public, everyone was very cooperative. They were very excited. In fact, the local people, they were very excited that the full Bollywood film is being shot there. In fact, the whole unit was recognized over there with the name of Haider. If they say, we are from the Haider unit, they are treated very differently.
But Shahid was saying in the morning that there were two schedules of 25 to 30 days, and I was wondering if you went in different parts of the year, because the stuff that we saw was very snow and winter and so on. What was it? Both winter, if you know what I mean.
No. The film was in 2 seasons. It was written in 2 seasons, autumn and winter.
Okay.
So autumn happens there in October, November, and then winter starts in January. So we went there in October, November. We were there for 20 days, and then next is like 30-35.
We shot through this period called Chili Kalan.
Yeah, it's called Chile Kalan. It's
the
like
coldest period in
40 coldest days of Kashmir.
Around 15th of December till the end of Jan, they consider it the coldest period there. And they used to always ask us with eyes wide open, "You're shooting in Chili Kalan?" We were like, "Yeah, what's Chili Kalan? Is it like a dish?" Like, no, even we don't get out when it's that cold.
Wow.
So,
And it's really cold.
really cold. Yeah.
So were you working in particular timings, like during the day?
Whenever the sun was out, man.
So middle of the day then, yeah?
Take
your early morning, late?
No, we used to start very early. In fact, I got lucky on a few days when we were shooting the climax of the film, because the set of of that location, which is like a graveyard, was a complete set that had been put up. Actually, something really interesting happened there. So there's this house and there's a graveyard in front of it, and that's the set at which we shot. And I remember, we used to every time go and do our lunch and stuff and all in the house, right? And we shot a lot of portions in the house. And one day we were walking back towards the end of the schedule, and I looked at Vishal and I was like, "So, like, whose house is this? We've obviously made everything in front of." And he just turned around, looked at me, started laughing, and he said, "That's a set." I didn't realize. Dude, I've been doing this for 11 years, but I shot in it and I didn't realize it's a set.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, that was how amazing that whole thing was that had been put up. But yeah, so they used to start sometimes very, very early, actually 5:30. I have as well, but there were certain days I got lucky. It was just too cold. And early mornings till the sun didn't come out, especially till around 7:38, till the sun didn't get like nice and strong. It was unbearably cold.
We didn't feel like having a breakfast. Yeah. That's why we used to have our break later, because once the sun is out, so everybody can. Otherwise, you don't feel like having.
And Sonmarg, when we shot, so if you remember,
Yeah.
which was before the winter had actually set in, we went to this place called Sonmarg, which is way up. And I remember getting there, and obviously the unit got there about 45 minutes before. And I remember I was driving towards where all the vans are parked and everything, and I just felt like I'm watching a painting because nobody moved.
Right.
I actually got down.
That cold.
I also froze, and I realized that nobody's moving. It was so cold, nobody could move. Seriously.
Yeah, because Sonmarg gets shut for after we shot 5 days later.
Yeah, 5 days later. Yes.
Because then
Starts snowing and gets out of hand.
So I've asked you too many things about this, even from the point of when it was conjecture as to who's going to be Haider. From your perspective...
Yeah, he was telling me how skeptical everybody was when he took my name.
Yeah,
they were like, "What's wrong with you?"
We've made so many guesses, and to be honest with you, yours was towards the end. Because you just like, oh yeah, and then it started seeping in.
I wouldn't cast myself for Kaminay, actually, honestly. I felt I stood a chance after having done Kaminay with Sir to try and get Haider, but when I did Kaminay, for me, I mean, what he did with me there was just something else.
So that kind of answers in the sense of your feeling about taking on the role. But where does Hamlet fit for you? Was it a play that you were already interested in, knew it, or was it something once this came along your way, you did a lot of other kind of research around it?
I mean, most people, at least, you read Shakespeare in school. So, of course, my father is somebody who's done a lot of stage, and he really, really loves Shakespeare. So, I've kind of...
And he wanted to make Hamlet with him long back.
Yes, before I became an actor, actually one of the first things when he spoke to me, he said, if you want to not just be a star and also be an actor, then maybe you should debut with a film like Hamlet. At least you'll get to do something as an actor in it. So I remember him making that mention, and it's quite amazing that probably 10, 12 years down the line, I've actually got the opportunity to do it. So I think, obviously, Hamlet is a very, very coveted part, and most actors would know about that. It's a huge compliment just to be considered for it, to be very honest. And very daunting to actually play it. And you really do literally feel to be or not to be by the end of it as an actor. Because you really wonder whether you're capable of being able to do something that you've taken on. So I was actually very, very excited, and I really pushed Vishal sir, and like when he said you have to go bald, I actually just said yeah immediately, because I was just like, okay, if that's what it takes, yeah, I'm gonna do it, but I want to play this role. Yeah.
Did you lose out on any other films because you went bald?
Let's not go there.
That's a yes.
I did sit at home for 4 months to grow my hair back, and I'm actually starting to shoot a film now.
Okay.
And we finished this film in March.
Okay.
So April, May, June, July, 4 months.
Okay.
August, 5 months.
Did you have any sort of input within the film itself in terms of like production and all that kind of stuff, or did you say, look, I want to change this part of the movie, or did you have any other input in the movie itself?
In what way?
I'm not sure. I mean, we don't know the storyline.
Right.
There might be something different, but was there something that you contributed to the film itself, which wasn't on the actual, you know?
Oh, I think I was just.
It was pretty much
occupied
done the
with playing
script.
part.
Yeah, that's fine.
Per
then.
script, yeah.
Okay.
Running by per script. You didn't think something might need to change, or you didn't think it was fitting?
I actually have him for all that.
Yeah. Okay.
I just focus on the acting.
I mean, that changing Shakespeare is sacrilege.
Got a twist to that.
Is there a certain scene or an aspect of your character that made you feel very uncomfortable? Because he's certainly a very dark character. He's not happy.
I feel very comfortable in uncomfortable spaces as an actor.
Wow.
It's actually
That's
very.
the sign of a great actor.
Okay. But it's actually very scary feeling comfortable as an actor. It's very scary because you're pretty much then probably repeating yourself or doing something that's already been done. In fact, I read an interview of Leonardo DiCaprio where he said this, and it was very interesting, where he said that if I read a script for the first time and I can understand how I want to play the part, I don't do it. I always do a film which I don't get the first time. If I've read it and I don't know how to play it, that's when I actually sit and read it again, because I know that it's making me enter an area which I probably haven't attempted yet. That's why I don't know how to play it. So I thought that was very interesting, and that was a huge learning. It's usually the other way around, when you read a script and you feel like, yeah, man, I know how to do this, but you're probably feeling that because you've done something similar already.
Sure. So it's something which comes from inside you, and you develop as your character develops. So it's a personal journey as well.
Yeah, I think originality can only come in spaces which are unexplored.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah. So if you want to try and do original work, you have to learn to take risks.
Thank you.
Vishalji, why did you choose Shahid? As Aditi said, there were some other names in the mix.
What are these names there? एक करके बता दो मुझे आज मैं सबको वापस
I want to give them all a haircut.
And we thought of everyone pretty much.
Except me.
Except we were the last one. And then kind of the penny dropped.
That's when
The
life
moment we said
happens.
it.
You thought everybody but me, but look
what
at
I said,
that.
that guy has been in my film.
Yeah. So we were guessing around that, yeah.
Like that.
And that's.
But
when-
who were your options?
Well, if you think, we even had some of the newer ones, right? We even had Imran, actually.
Imran Khan?
Yeah. And then we said think out of the box. Then we even tried, Ajay Bhai, like, and none of the names, to be honest, was fitting. But the moment then we cracked your name, and then it all kind of made sense. Kaminay, and then we could sort of. That was very early on. There was none of the
I
look
can't
of the
blame you.
film.
My last release was R. Rajkumar. I can't blame you. I don't think that guy doing this is something anybody would think of.
So, but then with you having done Kaminay with him,
Yes.
we could see what the palette of the film would have been like.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, for your question, you said.
No, because it's a character requires a younger casting. And I thought that, Shahid, I think that Shahid is
Young.
Young, and he's probably I think, the best actor in his age group. Because all the actually the young generation which is coming, they are good trained actors. But I had to make a choice, and I thought that Shahid is probably one of the best actors in his age group. And we had done work together. We knew each other, and I knew the kind of challenges this film will have, this script will have. So I needed someone who I have rapport with and who can trust me. We both can trust each other.
And Shahid, to see Vishalji in after Kaminay and in Haider, how's your experience been this time in comparison?
I think our relationship has grown a lot. I think we had a good relationship on Kaminay for sure, but with this film, I don't know. I just feel a lot more connected with him. What he feels and thinks really matters to me a lot more. I'm rather dependent on him as an actor.
How did you prepare for your role?
How did I prepare for my role?
Yeah, because film is sort of sporadic. You have a scene, you cut it, and you might have gone from different emotions, not in a linear way as you would in a
Yeah, it's
play.
never usually linear because there are too many factors which drive when to shoot what. You can't really control that.
Emotionally prepare for it.
I mean, the most amount of time that you need to spend is with your film, with the filmmaker, trying to understand what he expects of you. You have to try and discuss things in as much detail as you can. We did script readings with the entire cast, which was full of some fantastic people, so that was awesome. Getting the look right. Vishal sir, the first thing that he said was that I don't want Haider's eyes to be like how your eyes are. We should try lenses. So actually, I'm wearing lenses in the film.
And what colour are the eyes?
Lighter than what I have.
Oh, okay.
Because most Kashmiri people have slightly lighter eyes.
Right, yeah.
Shraddha is the only one who didn't have to wear those lenses in that weather. Because you know what happens with lenses is that they dry up. And and when it's minus 15, it's like you're putting a stone in your eye. So yeah, but I mean, I think that was a huge thing for the character. It really changed a lot with that one particular change. So it's more than just changing your clothes, right? It's just eyes which are such an important part of an actor's ability to emote. So I think that made a huge difference. Obviously, the look is drastically different from anything that I've done before. But at the end of the day, having said all that, eventually it's the mental journey that you need to understand how to interpret when it comes to a role like Hamlet. It's not just the physicality of the part.
Yes,
Of course, that's something. I'm still asking myself that question. You just I don't know. That's what acting is all about. It's so difficult to explain. I don't know. You just have to. I don't know. You just have to give yourself to it. Let go.
And Vishalji, you said that which is Kashmir is almost like another character in the film. Now that the film's ready, the release date is out. What are the plans of actually, like a lot of the locals were part of the set and everything. Is there a plan for a screening in Kashmir especially?
Yeah, actually we have sent a proposal to Chief Minister Amar because there are no working theatres in Kashmir, and I really want Kashmiris to experience this film on a big screen. So we are proposing that to like a moving theatre kind of thing, which we can set up in some outdoor location like a Bakshi Stadium over there, and where we can allow the Kashmiris to see one show a day once it's dark. I hope he accepts it and we get to see it.
Because their reaction is also quite key for you, right? Because it's meant to be their voice in a way.
Yes,
One quick thing, it really annoys me when we see the subtitle Prince and the songs are not subtitled. Can you or someone just ensure that the songs are subtitled?
Yes.
Because if we don't know the language, how would we also
We'll subtitle the subtitles, man.
That's good, because we also need the original, please. From Shakespeare.
No, and the lyrics are absolutely fantastic.
Exactly.
Regarding the music and the lyrics, your dancing is quite different in these films, I believe.
Yes.
There's 10 different songs, is it? Or how many songs?
I'm not dancing on 10.
No,
But the music is quite different.
Number of songs are 9, but it's like a soundtrack of a film. In film there are 4 songs, but there's a Faiz Ahmed Faiz poem Gulo Mein Rang Bhare, that one character keeps singing. Hamlet's father is a Faiz Ahmed Faiz fan, and he keeps singing that Gulu Marang Bhare, and that's the connection between father and son. So I have done the soundtrack for that in the album. Then there's a Gravedigger song. I have done a different version of that Gravedigger song. Then Tabu is singing one Kashmiri folk song. Then Shraddha is singing one Kashmiri folk song on screen. While we were shooting, they prepared their singing parts. So after the film is over, I thought that they should be included in the album or the soundtrack of the film.
One of the funniest things with Gulo Mein Rang Bhare was there was a scene in the film where I was supposed to sing it. And obviously it's a sing-sound film. So Vishal sir was wearing his headphones. Shooting this long scene. In the middle of this line, I suddenly started singing the ghazal. And I sung it so well, that he started taking his headphones off very slowly. Halfway through the shot, I could see from my peripheral vision that he started removing. I was singing it so badly. And then when we saw the final edit of the film, the scene wasn't there. That portion of the scene was, and then I asked him, I was like, so why is this not there? No, our film's getting a bit long.
So somewhere there is a copy.
It's on the floor. Yeah.
So who was the production designer?
They are the new guys, there are two of them, it's a pair. Their name is Subrat and Amit. And they were assistant to Sameer Chanda. Sameer Chanda was a great production designer of film industry. He passed away 2 years back, and so I didn't want to miss Sameer anymore, so that's why I give chance to these guys, and they're very good.
Yeah, they were fantastic.
As soon as a person mentions Kashmir, what comes to mind is the partition of India. So Hamlet obviously loses his father. Is the partition something which you've touched upon? Do you explore identity and belonging?
No, actually, the film is placed in 90s, so I don't touch the point of partition. But definitely, again, we really need to make a good film in partition. I think in our past 30 years, have we made any film on partition? No.
So many stories.
Only Garam Hawa was, I think.
Garam Hawa was fantastic.
I think you need to make a version of Fiddler on the Roof in India. That is definitely a partition story.
Yes. Strangely, 5-6 years back, Mr. Bachchan called me, and he really is very keen to play that old man's role.
I think that is partition story.
Yeah, that is.
You do it translate in the Hindi. Some of the songs are a bit religious, but most of the songs, if you think about them, they sit so well in that.
Is it out of copyright or no?
No.
Fiddler.
Because they make musicals out of it all the time.
Yeah,
that
so
is the story.
because then they won't let me do my own music and all. It's better that we'll find some.
We just have time for one more question.
Okay.
Well,
we can sit for 5 minutes.
If you are in London next year, this is already sold out, but promises to be. It's actually the hottest ticket now.
Really?
If you can get it.
Cumberbatch, the guy who plays Sherlock. He's playing Hamlet.
And it will be on at the Barbican. But I stupidly thought it was on now, but it's August 2015.
And the tickets are sold
out.
Yeah. Already sold out. They opened and they literally sold out within.
And they'll have some day
It looks
tickets.
so good, yeah.
But they'll have some day tickets, so
Yeah.
you can queue up very early outside
I'm
the
sure they'll
Barbican.
have some tickets for Hamlet. But what about Kaminay? Is that something we can hope for?
Yeah. Definitely, we have to make that.
I like that Shahid's not saying anything. You were the one who's quite keen on it, I believe, right?
But it's not up to me.
Oh, because you've given lots of interviews about it. Now you're not saying anything suddenly. You want to do it, right?
I've told him 100 times I can't say it again. I told him 3 times in the car today.
We can do a petition for you. Might help.
Sorry?
Do a petition for you.
Just do it, man.
But yeah, hello. Is that enough? हमने कहता.
Kaminay, I think the characters were so juicy that I think we should do. And I have not. I really love gangsters, so. I have to go and